बनाते हो बिजनेस के लिए, इसमें कोई वो इशू तो नहीं आ रहा ना कनेक्शन में, या एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर?
Yes,
वॉइस
sir.
वगैरह सब क्लियर है ना? हाँ, ओके.
Yes, sir.
सो इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट विल नॉट एक्सेप्ट योर P&L अकाउंट एज इट इज. जो आपने बिजनेस का P&L अकाउंट बनाया है, दैट इज फॉर बिजनेस पर्पस. इनकम टैक्स के पर्पज से यू हैव टू अंडरस्टूड द एडजस्टमेंट ऑफ इनकम टैक्स एज पर द इनकम टैक्स एक्ट, जो हमने देखा था सेक्शन नंबर 28 to 44 is for PGBP adjustment. If you want to calculate your business income, then you have to first understood that what adjustment income tax is saying to make under section 28 to 44. So basically, with the help of one example we discussed in the last class, that one P&L account will be provided to you, जिसमें एक तरफ सेल्स की अमाउंट होगी या कुछ वो अदर इनकम अपना कमा रहा है, अदर इनकम, एंड इट्स, और उसका एक साइड में एक्सपेंसेस है, जो आप लोगों के लिए नॉर्मल थिंग है, आप लोग बनाते भी हैं P&L अकाउंट. बट दिस P&L अकाउंट नीड टू बी अमेंडेड एज पर इनकम टैक्स एक्ट. यू कैन नॉट स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड apply the income tax rate on this amount. Suppose this is 2000 rupees. So straightforward, you can't apply income tax rate like 25.17% applicable on company generally on 2000 rupees. You have to make some adjustment. Due to this adjustment, your profit may decrease or may increase. But whatever amount will be come after adjustment, the rate will be applicable only that income. So what are those adjustment? Adjustment क्या क्या थी वो? क्या था कि सब कुछ आपको अलाउड हो जाएगा. एवरीथिंग इज अलाउड अंडर इनकम टैक्स एक्ट जनरली. एक जनरल डिडक्शन हमने पढ़ी थी कि एवरीथिंग हमें P&L को बार बार देखने की जरूरत नहीं है, खर्चे को जनरली हम अलाउ कर देंगे. बट कैपिटल नेचर का कोई खर्चा आप P&L में मत डालना. कैपिटल नेचर का खर्चा आपको एंड्यूरिंग नेचर का होता है, एक साल में उसका बेनिफिट खत्म नहीं होता. इट गिव्स यू बेनिफिट फॉर 4 to 5 years. तो कैपिटल नेचर का जो एक्सपेंडिचर है, फॉर दैट वी हैव सेपरेट सेक्शन 32, जिसमें हमने थोड़ा सा डेप्रिसिएशन का डिस्कशन किया था. तो बिकॉज डेप्रिसिएशन सेपरेटली आपको मिलेगा, तो कैपिटल नेचर का कोई भी जनरली आपको अलाउड नहीं होगा. तो आपके P&L में कोई भी कैपिटल नेचर का है, तो आपने करना क्या है उसको. आज हमारा पर्पस यही रहेगा मेन, कि हमारे पास एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन है, वी हैव क्वेश्चन इन एग्जाम, एंड द क्वेश्चन हैज गिवन अस P&L अकाउंट, एंड हाउ वी कन्वर्ट दिस P&L अकाउंट इन कंप्यूटेशन ऑफ इनकम. Because if your presentation is good in such type of questions, then examiner will give you good marks. Because provision as well as presentation matter in these type of question. So आज का पूरा डिस्कशन हमारा ये रहेगा कि एक P&L अकाउंट आपको मिल गया है, उस P&L अकाउंट में किसी और हेड की भी इनकम है, उस P&L अकाउंट में PGBP की भी इनकम है, उस P&L अकाउंट में कुछ खर्चे हैं, कुछ खर्चों में से कुछ कैपिटल नेचर के खर्चे हैं, कुछ पर्सनल नेचर के खर्चे डाल दिए उसने. Some expenses are of personal nature and some expenses are of like in the nature of penalty. Some are general expenses. So we will understand today that how we will present this P&L account in computation of income, and in computation of income we will compute income under the four heads, because salary head is not applicable. In house property head, how we will compute. In PGBP head, how we will compute, then capital gain, then other sources, and after that, suppose this is 5,000 rupees and you have some previous year losses, then how we can adjust these previous year losses. After that, your gross total income will come. After that, some deduction will be applicable. So we will concentrate today on presentation part. और मीनवाइल हम कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट भी साथ साथ डिस्कस करते हुए चलेंगे. सो डिस्कस करते करते लास्ट टाइम हमने वी केम ऑन द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ डेप्रिशिएशन. Depreciation, what we understood about the calculation of depreciation under the Income Tax Act, the depreciation calculated in accounts will not be allowed. So first of all, account depreciation you have to add back. Suppose your P&L account is showing, sorry, suppose your P&L account is showing profit of rupees 5,000, and while calculating this profit, you deducted 500 depreciation as per accounting depreciation, or you can say as per Schedule 2, which is applicable on companies while calculating the depreciation. Schedule 2 of the Companies Act 2013. Companies Act 2013. So company must have debited 500 rupees. 500 rupees उसने अपना शेड्यूल 2 जो कंपनी एक्ट का उसको बोलता है उसके हिसाब से उसने डेप्रिसिएशन कैलकुलेट कर रखा हुआ. तो हम क्या करेंगे, आवर स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट विल बी 5,000. वी विल से, वैसे तो हमने P&L बना लिया है और P&L के हिसाब से ये प्रॉफिट है, प्रॉफिट एज पर P&L अकाउंट 5,000. This will be our starting point. Now income tax department wants some adjustment. What adjustment he wants? He wants that this 500 is not correct. So you have claimed you have reduced your income by 500 wrongly. So first add this 500 depreciation as per account and calculate depreciation as per Income Tax Act. Calculate depreciation under section 32 of the Income Tax Act. So whatever depreciation will come under section 32, that will only be allowable to you. Suppose 400 आया तो आपका प्रॉफिट अब 5,000 नहीं हुआ, आपका प्रॉफिट 5100 रुपए हुआ जिसको आप पे टैक्स देना है. वैसे आपने कमर्शियल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से कंपनी ने एज पर शेड्यूल 3 जो अपने बुक्स बनाए थे उस हिसाब से कंपनी के 5,000 के प्रॉफिट निकलता था, लेकिन इनकम टैक्स ने कहा कि डेप्रिसिएशन मेरे हिसाब से लोगे तो जो डेप्रिसिएशन लेकर आए हो वो गलत लिया है, उससे अपनी इनकम बढ़ा दो क्योंकि अभी आप माइनस कर चुके हो. एंड what is the correct amount that you will claim on. So final amount on which the rate will be applicable will be 5,100. So regarding depreciation, now the question comes, then how we calculate the depreciation under the Income Tax Act? Under the Income Tax Act, either he will give you depreciation of income tax himself. Like हमने देखा था कि उसमें दो मशीनरी थी, एक मशीनरी की इनकम टैक्स की डेप्रिसिएशन क्वेश्चन में खुद ही निकाल के दी थी. इफ इनकम टैक्स डेप्रिसिएशन इज इटसेल्फ गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन, then you will take that depreciation. Otherwise you will calculate as per section 32. What 32 says? 32 says that you will calculate depreciation on WDV on this we studied in the last class. There is a concept of block of assets. What is block of assets? If you have the assets of same nature and on which same rate is prescribed under Income Tax Act, then Income Tax Act will make a block for that asset. सपोज एक मशीन है आपके पास और सारी मशीन 15% वाली है, उनकी नेचर एक सी है, तो वहां पे आपको सेपरेटली 1 by 1 मशीन पे डेप्रिसिएशन नहीं निकालना है, 1 by 1 आपको कैलकुलेशन नहीं करनी है. यू विल ऐड इन द ब्लॉक का पार्ट बन जाएगा. तो ब्लॉक का पार्ट बनने के बाद जो लास्ट में WDV आएगी साल के लास्ट में आपके पास, उस WDV पे यू विल कैलकुलेट डेप्रिसिएशन. कैसे WDV निकालोगे आप WDV निकालोगे, ओपनिंग WDV जो इस एसेट्स ऑलरेडी चल रहे थे, सेम नेचर के, सेम परसेंटेज लाइक वी डिस्कस, प्लांट एंड मशीनरी, or you can say office equipment is also part of plant and machinery under the Income Tax Act. Office equipment. So plant and machinery 15%. Then computer and computer software is also called a plant and machinery under the Income Tax Act, but rate is 40%. Then building 5%, 10%. Then furniture 10%. So you will make block like this. इस तरह से ब्लॉक बना लेंगे आप लोग, उसका ओपनिंग WDV ले लेंगे, ड्यूरिंग द ईयर जो भी एडिशन हुआ है उसको ऐड कर देंगे, जितना भी सेल हुआ है उसको लेस कर देंगे, जब तक यहां नहीं आ जाते आप तब तक आपको डेप्रिसिएशन को कैलकुलेट नहीं करना है. वंस यू रीच एट दिस पॉइंट देन यू अप्लाई द डेप्रिसिएशन रेट. like in the last class we first calculate the cost of plant and machinery, WDV of plant and machinery, then we apply the 15% rate. But while adding the addition, what we need to टेक केयर, हमें ये ध्यान रखना है कि एडिशन के अंदर वो सारे खर्चे आ जाएंगे जो उस मशीनरी को या जो उस एसेट्स को पुट टू यूज करने में लगाया है. लाइक उस हमने देखा था कुछ ट्रैवलिंग एक्सपेंसेस हुआ था लास्ट क्वेश्चन में, जो भी खर्चा हुआ था ऑन द प्लांट एंड मशीनरी टिल द प्लांट एंड मशीनरी पुट टू यूज, दैट यू नीड टू कैपिटलाइज. तो यहां तक हमारा कल लास्ट क्लास में डिस्कस हो गया था. अब 2 पॉइंट मैंने लास्ट में कहा था कि डेप्रिसिएशन के 2 इंपॉर्टेंट, हालांकि कॉन्सेप्ट तो और भी हैं डेप्रिसिएशन के, लेकिन हम इस तरह से चलेंगे कि आज हम ओवरऑल स्ट्रक्चर समझेंगे हमारी इनकम का कैसे होता है, और कॉन्सेप्ट एक दो जो उसके साथ मिलते हैं, और साइड बाय साइड हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में इसके फिर जो अच्छे लेवल के क्वेश्चन होते हैं उसके थ्रू हम समझेंगे कि और क्या क्या पेंडिंग रह गया. सो नाउ इन डेप्रिसिएशन वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड additional depreciation. Additional depreciation rate is 20%. What is this additional depreciation? Income Tax Act says that if you start some manufacturing and you purchase some new plant and machinery, so instead of giving only 15% depreciation in first year, we will give you 20% additional depreciation. हम आपको 20% की एक एडिशनल डेप्रिसिएशन भी देंगे अगर आप प्लांट एंड मशीनरी लगाते हैं और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग शुरू करते हैं. अगर आप प्लांट एंड मशीनरी लगाते हैं और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, तो अगर आपके किसी क्लाइंट का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का बिजनेस है और उसने न्यू प्लांट एंड मशीनरी खरीदा है, तो उसके न्यू प्लांट एंड मशीनरी पे 15% का WDV तो आप निकालोगे, आप 20% का एडिशनल डेप भी उसके ऊपर निकालेंगे. अब इस एडिशनल डेप का मतलब क्या हुआ? लाइक आपने 100 रुपीज की मशीनरी परचेज करी, यू परचेज मशीनरी ऑफ ₹100, तो इट डजंट मीन कि आपको 100 रुपीज प्लस 20 रुपीज 120 रुपए की डेप्रिसिएशन मिल जाएगी. ये कोई वेटेड आपको डेप्रिसिएशन नहीं दे रहे हैं, आपको एक प्रीपोनमेंट कर रहे हैं डेप्रिसिएशन का कि आप 15% करके आप WDV पे लेते, वो नहीं कर रहे हैं हम क्या करेंगे, 15% तो आपको दे ही रहे हैं, पहले साल में 20% एडिशनल और दे देंगे. तो आपको डेप्रिसिएशन जो ओनली 15% मिल रहा था, वो आपका डेप्रिसिएशन आपको 15 प्लस 20% एडिशनल मिलेगा. बट टोटल डेप्रिसिएशन 100 रुपए से कॉस्ट ज्यादा नहीं होगी, 100 रुपए ही मिलेगी आपको. इट इज जस्ट प्रीपोनमेंट ऑफ द डेप्रिसिएशन कि आप आगे वाले सालों में मिलता है आपको, लेकिन आप डेप्रिसिएशन अभी ले लेंगे.
Talk in English, sir.
Okay. Actually, some student requested in Hindi also, so I try to make mixture of both. So 15% is the original depreciation and 20% will be the additional depreciation. But total depreciation will not exceed 100 rupees. It is just preponement of the depreciation. So in the first year, you will have depreciation of 15% plus 20% additional. However, this depreciation is not applied on office appliances. If some manufacturing client have installed some office appliances, then additional depreciation is not available. Additional depreciation will be allowed only on plant and machinery, and which is installed for the purpose of manufacturing. So मैं पहले एग्जांपल के थ्रू समझते हैं जो हम लास्ट टाइम कर रहे थे.
Can you come again?
I'm saying that I'll open the example which we were doing in the last class. Through that example, we'll understand the calculation. So this was the example which we were doing in the last class. So in this example, on this plant and machinery, so purchase during the year of plant and machinery was 5,40,000. 5,40,000. So on 5,40,000, 15% will original depreciation. 15% original depreciation will be allowed, and 20% additional depreciation will be allowed. So two depreciation will be allowed on the plant and machinery part, which is installed or put to use during the previous year. So during the previous year, not only 15% will be available, rather 20% additional depreciation भी इसको मिलेगा. लेकिन हम ये प्रिज्यूम कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे कि ये मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का बिजनेस है, मशीनरी वगैरह यूज हो रही है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में ही हो रही होगी. तो we understood that whenever a manufacturing business will install some new plant and machinery, then in addition to 15%, he will be allowed 20% additional depreciation in the same year in which the machine put to use. Hope it is clear to all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one new concept in depreciation is that these are the full rate. 15% on plant and machinery, 10% on furniture, then furniture building, 5% residential, and 10% non-residential. Computer and computer software, 40%. These are the full rate, but these full rate are available only if the machinery put to use during the previous year for more than 182 days. So if you purchase the new machinery, but during the previous year, your previous year start from April 1st, 2019 to 31st March 2020. But you purchase your machinery in January 2020. So in that particular year, or suppose first we take example, you purchase a machinery in April 19. We take two example. So there are two plant and machinery. Opening balance nil. You made the addition. One addition in machinery was made in April 19 of 1,000 rupees, and one addition in plant and machinery was made in January 2020 of rupees 2,000, or we can say of rupees 5,000. 5,000. On 1,000 rupees, there is no issue. You take two depreciation. One is 15% depreciation, original depreciation of rupees 150, and 25% depreciation, additional depreciation, 250 rupees. So depreciation of rupees 400 will be allowable for that machinery which is purchased अप्रैल 19 में जो आपने मशीनरी परचेज करी है उसके लिए आपको फुल ईयर का डेप्रिसिएशन मिल जाएगा. बट ये आपने पूरे साल नहीं करा. पूरे साल का कंसेप्ट यहाँ पे here is not necessary that proportionately आपको करना है. आपको 180 डेज से याद रखना है बस.
Additionally, 25 or 20?
20, sorry, 20. $180 days. So it is used or put to use for less than 180 days. Now the rate will become automatically half. So 15% will become 7.5%, and 20%, even the additional depreciation will become half. This will become 10%.
सर वो 100 रुपीज वाली लिमिट कैसे देखेंगे?
Which 100 rupees?
तो वो क्या आपने कहा ना डेप्रिसिएशन मतलब 100 रुपीज से ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए.
में देखेंगे.
नहीं, ये तो नहीं बोला मैंने कहीं पे भी 100 रुपीज से ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. ये कहाँ पे बोला था?
Sir, total depreciation should not exceed 100. You are saying that this is preponement of depreciation only.
No, but my machinery cost is 1,000 rupees. I'm saying it should not exceed 1,000 with
100%. He means 100%.
Yeah, yes. It
Okay,
means,
okay.
you can't claim
Okay,
more than
100
the cost. You can't claim more than the cost of the machinery. 1,000 रुपए की मशीनरी है तो 1,000 रुपए की डेप्रिसिएशन नहीं मिलेगी. आपका प्रीपोनमेंट हो जाएगा डेप्रिसिएशन का. ये नहीं है कि एडिशनल डेप्रिसिएशन की वजह से आपको एक्स्ट्रा मिल रहा है कुछ. तो 1,000 की मशीनरी है तो 1,000 ही मिलेगी. अगर ये एडिशनल ना मिल रहा होता आपको तो क्या होता कि 150 ही मिलता अभी. फिर WDV इसकी निकल के आती है आपकी 850. Then on 850 next year you claim 15%. Then on balance in next year you claim 15%. So we are just preponding the depreciation amount by giving you the benefit of additional depreciation. So with the help of additional depreciation, in the first year itself you claim higher amount of depreciation. But if you put to use your machinery for less than 180 days, then both depreciation rate will become half. And
This is 180 or 182?
I think it's a 180 days. Give me 1 minute, I'll just confirm. $180 days. It is 180 days. Less than 180 days.
Okay.
If it is less than 180 days, it means 180 exact भी है या उससे more है, then full depreciation. If it is used less than 180 days, then half depreciation. So 150 depreciation will become 75 rupees. This 150 will become 75. This 200 will become 100. And sorry, मैं इसका cost दोनों के same कर लेता हूँ जिससे example same रहे. 1,000 half मेरे को मिला 75 100 1,000 रुपीज मेरी कॉस्ट थी. तो मेरा अब WDV अब क्या रह गया इस साल की डेप्रिसिएशन लेने के बाद 825. So here I have 825 and here I have 1,000 minus 400, 600. So you can see that when I put to use the machinery for less than 180 days, then only half depreciation will be allowed me in the first year. In the next year, because depreciation is allowable only once. Additional depreciation is allowable only once. So half part you have already claimed, 100 rupees you already claimed in first year. Another half part you will claim in next year. So 100 as it is you will claim in next year, and full depreciation of 15% on 825. So 825 full depreciation and 100 rupees balance of additional depreciation. This will be the calculation of next assessment here. Hope now this is clear. The calculation of depreciation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I'm discussing the overall structure of computation of income. कि आपको एक P&L अकाउंट आपको मिला होगा, उससे आपको कंप्यूटेशन इनकम हर हेड में कैसे बनाने हैं, कैसे आपको एडिशन करने हैं.
सर वो 20% वाला एक ही बार क्लेम होगा या 2 बार क्लेम कर सकते हैं? मतलब आधा करंट ईयर में और आधा नेक्स्ट ईयर में?
आधा तब होगा वो जब क्या कहते हैं आपने पुट टू यूज 180 डेज से कम किया है.
अच्छा.
फर्स्ट ईयर में 20 का आधा करना पड़ेगा, लेकिन क्योंकि एडिशनल डेप्रिसिएशन मिलेगा आपको एक बार इन द सेंस की 20% टोटली मिलेगा, उससे ज्यादा नहीं मिलेगा. तो जो हाफ रह गया वो आप इमीडिएटली नेक्स्ट ईयर में क्लेम कर लेंगे. अलग से कैलकुलेशन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. जो फर्स्ट ईयर में निकला था उसका हाफ फर्स्ट ईयर में क्लेम कर लेंगे और उसका हाफ सेकंड ईयर में क्लेम कर लेंगे. और जो ओरिजिनल है वो हमारा उस तरह से चलता रहेगा. ओरिजिनल विल बी फर्स्ट 7.5% बिकॉज मशीन पुट टू यूज इन द फर्स्ट ईयर फॉर लेस देन 180 डेज. फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट ईयर इट विल बी 15% ऑन माय WDV.
ओके सर, थैंक
तो
यू.
नेक्स्ट ईयर में 825 का 15% निकालेंगे आप, एंड 100 रुपीज ये जोड़ लेंगे जो आपका रह गया था. इन दोनों को जोड़ के जो डेप्रिसिएशन आएगी उसको माइनस करेंगे, वो आपके नेक्स्ट ईयर की फिर WDV हो जाएगी, जो अगले साल आपको ओपनिंग WDV की तरह लेके जाना.
क्लियर सर.
So examiner asks two type of question. Sometime he give you complete P&L account like we were discussing in the example. Sometimes he give you only the net amount of this, that as per my P&L account the profit amount is that as per my P&L account the profit amount is 10,000 rupees. Sometimes he will give you only this net amount, and after that he will give you various adjustment, and by applying the provision of Income Tax Act you need to make adjustment in 10,000 rupees. So in that type of question you will not information available in the P&L account. But if you have P&L account, that you have to pick the information from P&L account also. Like here sales is given, rent is given, interest is given, sale is given. Just a minute. Sale is given, rent is given, interest is given. Sale of rupees 15,000, rent of rupees 4,000, interest of rupees 1,000. Your total income side is 20,000. Then few expenditure. Out of 20,000 you claim 10,000 rupees as expenses, and balance 10,000 rupees is your profit. So in the Income Tax Act, how you will present? In the Income Tax Act you have 4 heads for companies. Otherwise for other person you have salary head also. However for company you have only house property head, you have PGBP head, you have house property, PGBP, capital gain and other sources. however the examiner wants you to have depth knowledge of PGBP provisions, but he also want you to have calculation idea of these house property, capital gain and other sources, so that you can practically you are aware that how the total income of the assessee is computed. So under the house property, what will you do? You will take rent amount from the P&L account, because P&L account is common for all type of income and all type of expenses. Company never do that for business income. He's making separate P&L account, or rent income it is making separate P&L account, and interest and other sources income it is making. There is only one P&L account of the company as per the company. Out of those income, we have to select that which income is belongs to my which head. मेरी कौन सी इनकम किस हेड से बिलोंग करती है, वो आपको वहां से P&L अकाउंट से निकालना पड़ेगा. और आप अगर अपनी इनकम को किसी दूसरे हेड में लेके चले गए हो, तो इसमें से पहले आपको 10,000 में से उस इनकम को पहले लेस करना पड़ेगा कि 10,000 में मेरी ये वाली इनकम भी इंक्लूड थी, इस इनकम को मैं ऑलरेडी किसी और हेड में ले गया हूं, वहां पे मैंने कंप्यूट कर लिया, आई हैव सरेंडर्ड दैट अमाउंट इन अनदर हेड, सो 10,000 will be reduced by that. So first we discuss that how we calculate house property income. House property house property computation is as follows. First of all, it says you gross annual value. Generally, gross annual value means rent received. So whatever rent received by you, first of all you will mention here. Then you will less any taxes paid for that property. Taxes paid. So during the year, whatever amount you paid for taxes, the word is paid. So if amount is still payable, you will not deduct from here. However, if amount is paid, whether it is for current financial year, previous financial year, previous 3 financial year, if paid in the current financial year, then the all amount will be deducted from here. Then it will become net annual value. In net annual value, again you will give 2 more deduction under section 24. One deduction is statutory deduction of 30% of this amount, and second deduction is deduction of interest on loan. So whatever will be the balance, this will be your house property income. House property income. So हाउस प्रॉपर्टी की इनकम वैसे कंप्यूट नहीं होगी कि P&L एक तरफ में आपने रेंट डाल रखा है, दूसरी तरफ उसके खर्चे डाल दिए. हाउस प्रॉपर्टी हेड सेज जो भी खर्चा है आपको, मैं पूरा खर्चा नहीं दूंगा आपको, 30% हमने एक स्टैंडर्ड बना दिया है. हम ये मान के चलते हैं, इट इज प्रिज्यूम्ड दैट 30% इज योर एक्सपेंडिचर टू अर्न द rental income. So you will be allowed only the 30%. Whatever will be your actual expenditure, it doesn't matter. एक्चुअल एक्सपेंडिचर के बेसिस पे आपको नहीं मिलेगा. तो अब आपको क्या करना है, आपके पास ऊपर P&L अकाउंट है. फ्रॉम दैट P&L अकाउंट इफ देयर इज सम रेंट इनकम, तो आप रेंट इनकम को बाहर निकाल के ले आएंगे. रेंट इनकम आपकी यहां आ जाएगी डायरेक्टली. ये रेंट इनकम आपकी यहां आ जाएगी. रेंट इनकम में आप एडजस्टमेंट करेंगे. और अगर इस हाउस प्रॉपर्टी से रिलेटेड कोई खर्चा P&L अकाउंट के डेबिट में पड़ा हुआ है, इफ देयर इज सम एक्सपेंडिचर व्हिच इज रिलेटिंग टू दिस प्रॉपर्टी, तो आप इस खर्चे को भी यहां से बाहर निकाल के ले आएंगे. और उस खर्चे को आप यहाँ पे नीचे जो अलाउ करेंगे, वो कहीं पे भी लिख के अलाउ नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि वो 30% में इंक्लूड होगा. वंस यू आर गिविंग 30% डिडक्शन, इट मींस द एक्सपेंडिचर रिलेटिंग टू प्रॉपर्टी हैज बीन अलाउड टू यू. तो आपने क्या काम किए? 2 काम आपने पहले किए. पहले आपने अपना PGBP का प्रॉफिट ठीक किया. 10,000 जो आपने स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट बनाया था कि 10,000 मेरा स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट है जो मेरे P&L के हिसाब से आ रहा है. इसमें बट रुपीज, suppose rent income was your 4,000 rupees. 4,000 was my rental income. So I will reduce my business profit. I will say in business I earn only 6,000 rupees. 4,000 is my house property income. So house property I have calculated in the house property head. So हाउस प्रॉपर्टी हेड में लेके आप जाओगे तो आप क्या करोगे? पहले यहाँ पे डिडक्ट करके दिखाओगे 4,000 रुपीज. अब आपका बिजनेस का प्रॉफिट रह गया 6,000 और हाउस प्रॉपर्टी में कैलकुलेशन आपने 4,000 की यहाँ पे रेंट को लेकर करके दिखा दी. So 4,000, and it may also happen that in P&L debit side there is some expenditure like question may say you that in the P&L account in the taxes part 500 belongs to taxes paid on property. It means आपको क्या इंडिकेशन मिल रहा है कि 500 रुपए मेरे यहाँ पे प्रॉपर्टी के माइनस किए हुए हैं, प्रॉपर्टी के खर्चा माइनस किया हुआ है, प्रॉपर्टी का खर्चा यहाँ से माइनस ना किया होता तो मेरा प्रॉफिट जो 10,000 आ रहा है वो 500 से और एक्सीड आता. तो आई विल ऐड दिस और इसको मैं अपने हाउस प्रॉपर्टी के हेड में क्लेम करूंगा. हाउस प्रॉपर्टी का हेड मेरे को क्या कहता है कि अगर आपने टैक्सेस पेड कर रखे हैं तो आप क्लेम कर लो. तो आप यहाँ पे आके अगर आपने टैक्सेस पेड कर दिए थे तो क्लेम कर लोगे. अगर वहां पे इन्फॉर्मेशन ये मिलेगी टैक्सेस पेड नहीं है तो आप ऐड कर देंगे. दिस विल बी एडेड बट विल नॉट बी अलाउड ड्यूरिंग दिस ईयर because it has not been paid. So basically what you need to understand that this 10,000 not only adjusted with the disallowances but shall also be adjusted with the amount of income and expenses of another head, because you are taking out from here the expenses and income of another head. So the respective adjustment you will make first in the PGBP income. अगर वो आपके पहले रेंट प्रॉफिट में जुड़ा हुआ है उसका प्रॉफिट तो वहां से माइनस करेंगे. उसका खर्चा कोई लेस हुआ है तो उसको ऐड कर देंगे. आप अपना बिजनेस का प्रॉफिट निकाल लेंगे और जो भी हाउस प्रॉपर्टी का आया उसका आप अलग से कैलकुलेशन करेंगे. एक बार उसको एग्जांपल के थ्रू भी समझ लेते हैं जो हम कर रहे थे. Like this was our example. We have been given a P&L account in this example. So मैंने आपको बताया कि दो तरह से क्वेश्चन आपके सामने पुट किए जा सकते हैं. एक में तो आपको नेट इनकम ही दे दें आपको, आपके सामने P&L ना हो. एक में आपके सामने P&L होगा. तो अगर P&L है तो आपको P&L को भी स्टडी करना पड़ेगा कि दिस इज P&L एज पर माय इनकम टैक्स एक्ट और सम एडजस्टमेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड. So in the credit side, sale is my business income. Closing stock is related to my business. Interest on debenture is not related to my business. It is interest income and will be taxable in other sources income. Bad debts recovery is my business income because it happens in the business itself. Interest on income tax refund, it will be my other sources income. All interest and this type of other dividend etc. are generally treated as other sources income. And rent from house property is not my business income, but P&L account is common for all income. But under the Income Tax Act, I am computing total income of SSC as per the income tax provision. So what I will do, I will exclude 40,000 from the business profit. My business profit starting point was 4,46,000. My starting point was 4,46,000. Out of this 46,000, I will say that income from house property, 40,000 rupees, I am excluding from here because it is taxable in some other head. It is taxable in some other head. So, sorry. Any query?
Number.
No, your voice is cracking.
See the
कोई
page
doubt
number.
है? Page number.
Hmm.
Page number 9 of study. January 20 edition. So 40,000 is my house property income. I will tax this house property income under the head house property. Therefore, I exclude it from my business income because I will not surrender the same income twice. So from the business income, because it is not business income, I have to take it out from business profit. So 40,000 I excluded from here, and it will be calculated under house property head. Then what deduction is available against this? We have to see what taxes has been paid by him.
Municipal tax.
Where it is written? In which adjustment?
In P&L it is.
Last
Sorry?
last
In
5,000.
In bottom next above profit.
Okay, municipal tax, 5,000. But here you need to mention that we are presuming that this 5,000 has been paid. This 5,000 has been paid because municipal taxes will be allowed against the house property income only once it is paid. So you will give a note in your computation of income that we are presuming that this 5,000 has been paid during the year. So 35,000 my NAV. Out of 35,000, there is no loan taken for this property. Otherwise, interest on loan will also be allowable to me. Now only the 30%. 30% is my standard deduction. Whether I make the expenditure of rupees 1 rupees or 1,000 or 40,000, it doesn't matter. 30% will be straightforward, will be allowed to you. So only 30% will be allowed, or if after giving 30% deduction, if you find that any expenditure in the debit side relates to house property income, then you have to surrender that expenditure. Like municipal taxes is deducted from the PGBP income, but I claim this from the house property income, so I will add in my PGBP income, that because when I am not surrendering my income twice, I have no right to claim the expenditure twice. So municipal taxes I will disallow because it will be claimed in another head. So this is the all about the computation of house property income. Hope everything is clear to all. कोई डाउट है किसी का तो पूछ लो अभी.
नहीं सर.
ठीक है. Now other sources income. Other sources doesn't have any specific formula. Just you need to understand that interest income, dividend income, and gift, etc. will be taxable in other sources. So if any income relating to other sources, like 1,000 is credited in my P&L account, 1,000 is credited in my P&L account, it relates to other sources income. So I will take it out from my PGBP profit of rupees 10,000 and will add in my other sources income. Or if there any expenses is given against these income, then against the specific income you will deduct that expenditure. So calculation is normal. Just you need to understand that what type of income will come under the other sources head. Other sources के head में कौन सी income आएगी, बस वो आपको समझना है. इनकम का कंप्यूटेशन का तरीका बिल्कुल आसान है. जो इनकम है उसके अगेंस्ट जो खर्चा किया आपने वो डिडक्शन ले लो. और कुछ भी आपको लगता है कि डबल टैक्सेबिलिटी हो रही है, देन फिर आपको अगेन पीजीबीपी की इनकम में एडजस्टमेंट आपको करना पड़ेगा. लाइक इन आवर एग्जांपल, interest on debenture was rupees 10,000. Interest on deferred income tax. Request to all to switch off your voice. Please mute your. So in our example, rent from house property we have done. Interest on debenture was 10,000. interest on refund on income tax 6,000. So first I will exclude from the PGBP income because this is not my PGBP income. So I will exclude from PGBP income and I will calculate this in my other sources income. So other sources had said 10,000 income from debenture, 6,000 income tax के refund पे interest मिला आपको, and for making 10,000 income from debenture, you make expenditure of rupees 2,000. Interest on borrowed amount. Yes. So in adjustment N, the question is giving us information that interest paid is related to loan taken for purchase of debenture. तो जो आपको P&L में ये इंटरेस्ट दिख रहा है, दिस इज नॉट फॉर बिजनेस पर्पज. ये मुझे एक डिबेंचर खरीदने थे. सो टू परचेज डिबेंचर आई टुक द लोन and for that loan I paid 2,000 rupees interest. So when I pay 2,000 rupees interest against my debenture income, so I can deduct only against the debenture income. So 10,000 was my income, interest from debenture, 2,000 was my expenditure, the net income from my debenture was 8,000. So both will be added and reduced from the PGBP income. The income will be reduced because I'm surrendering in another head, and the expenses will be added back because I claimed in the another head. So this is all the adjustment required due to computation under other heads. So once you are done computation of each head, computation of income for the AY 2020-21. Number 1, income under the head house property. Number 2, income under the head PGBP. Income under the head capital gain. In this question there is no capital gain income, so I'm not explaining how to calculate capital gain. In some other example I will explain you capital gain income. Income from other sources. So these under these 4 heads you will make adjustment and you calculate your income, and this will out of this you will deduct brought forward losses. Brought forward losses. Or it may happen that in some head itself there is a loss, then you need to understand then how that loss will be adjusted, and after that only your GTI will come, gross total income. Gross total income means against which you can claim various deductions. Deductions like 80IA, 80IB, JJA, and after claiming these deduction, your total income will come. So while calculating PGBP income, you make various adjustment of depreciation, adjustment of cash expenditure under 40A 3 in excess of rupees 10,000, expenditure to related party 40A 2, and now we need to understand that how a company can claim brought forward losses. How the company can claim the brought forward losses. Basically losses का जो पूरा चैप्टर है, लॉसेस में थोड़ा सा फास्ट लूंगा क्योंकि आप इसका पार्ट अपना उधर भी पढ़ के आते हैं इंटर में भी. तो सेक्शन 70 to 780. But again we need to understand because if in question some losses are given of current year or previous year, then we need to understand that which loss can be adjusted against the which income and up to what extent. So this all is given under section 72, under section 70-80. So how this 70-80 works? So we will make some parts of it. First of all, very simple section 70. Allow me to set off the losses intersource same head intersource same head. Anybody can explain that what is this exactly? Intersource but same head. किसी को है थोड़ा बहुत आइडिया इसका?
सेम हेड मतलब सर मतलब पीजीबीपी का लॉस है तो वो पीजीबीपी से ही होगा, कैपिटल गेन का है तो कैपिटल गेन से ही होगा।
तो we have house property head, we have capital gain head, sorry, we have PGBP head, we have capital gain head, and we have other sources head. So house property में भी आपके source जो हैं वो 3 property हो सकती हैं, property 1, property 2, property 3. So if there is loss from one property and there is profit from another 2 property, so this section 70 will tell you that within house property head, can you adjust this loss of one property against the loss of profit of another 2 property? It will not go inter head, दूसरे हेड में नहीं जाएगा अभी 70 सेक्शन आपका विद इन सोर्स में रहेगा. पीजीबीपी यू हैव 3 टाइप ऑफ बिजनेस, 1, 2, 3. In one business you have loss, in 2 business you have profit. So it will tell you whether the profit or loss of one business can be set off against the profit of another 2 business. So it will remain in the same head. It will not go inter head. So जब आप same head में रहते हो, inter head नहीं जाते हो, that is called intersource same head. Intersource same head. And in capital gain is there is some different thing. In capital gain, there are capital assets, and capital asset again can be of 2 type. One is short-term capital assets, one is long-term capital asset. So this section 70 allow intersource adjustment subject to one exception. What is that exception? That exception is under the capital gain head. It says that long-term capital loss cannot be adjusted against the short-term capital gain. So अगर आप सबसे पहले स्टार्ट हुए, आप अपना इनकम कंप्यूट कर रहे हो, आपने देखा कि बहुत सारे सोर्स से मेरे को विद इन हेड इनकम आ रही है, कुछ से लॉस हुआ, कुछ से हुआ, तो आप एक दूसरे को एडजस्ट कर सकते हैं विद इन सोर्स, कोई मना नहीं है. सेक्शन 70 गिव यू पावर, बट सेक्शन 70 गिव ओनली वन एक्सेप्शन, दैट एलटीसी लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल लॉस जो होगा हमारा, वो कभी भी शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल लॉस में नहीं जाएगा. तो मतलब बड़ा प्रॉफिट जो होगा, लोग बड़ी एसेट्स का, मकान पुराने टाइम से खरीदा हुआ है, वो हमारा छोटे मोटे जो शॉर्ट टर्म टाइप के गेन होते रहते हैं, उससे एडजस्ट नहीं हो सकता. तो दिस 70, टेल मी नाउ 71 is inter-head adjustment. Inter-head adjustment, it means now 71 is saying that you have PGBP income, you have capital gain, you have other sources, you have house property, house property, PGBP, capital gain. Now it's saying that if you have loss in house property, can you go in PGBP? If you have loss in capital gain, can you go in PGBP? So this section 71 will tell you. So 71 again allow everything. Only 3 exception are there. So you need to understand only these exception. आपको ये exception याद रखनी है कि जब भी मैं लॉस को सेट ऑफ कर रहा हूँ तो मेरे को एक्टर ने कौन सा लॉस मना किया हुआ है एडजस्ट करने के लिए. सबसे पहले बिकॉज ये 71 तो सारे एसएससी पे एप्लीकेबल होता है, इवन सैलरी की इनकम पे भी होता है, इंडिविजुअल पे भी. तो सबसे पहला बार तो यही होता है कि एज पर दिस सेक्शन, एज पर दिस सेक्शन पीजीबीपी अगर आपको लॉस हुआ है, इफ यू हैव लॉस अंडर द हेड पीजीबीपी, इट कैन नॉट बी सेट ऑफ अगेंस्ट द सैलरी इनकम. अगेंस्ट द सैलरी इनकम नॉट अलाउड. पहला एक्सेप्शन. 71 क्या हमें बता रहा था? 71 बता रहा था मैं आपको इंटर हेड. अब आपको एडजस्टमेंट कराने लगा हूं. आपको सेम ईयर है, सेम ईयर में आपको कुछ हेड में प्रॉफिट हो गया, कुछ हेड में आपको लॉस हो गया. अब मैं आपको बताने लगा हूं आप वो वाला लॉस जो सेम ईयर में हुआ है दूसरे हेड में लेके जा सकते हो. कह रहे हैं हाँ लेके जा सकते हो. देयर आर 3 एक्सेप्शन. फर्स्ट एक्सेप्शन इज ये रिसेंटली तो नहीं कहना चाहिए, 8-10 साल ही हुए इसको, इस जो ये अमेंडमेंट आई है. Earlier, the PGBP laws can also be set off against the salary income, but now salary you can't set off your PGBP laws against the salary income. What is the reason behind this? Because whenever you have some salary income, you just show some artificial business and create loss and show loss from there and just adjust the salary income from. So government find that these all are the fake claim. So to avoid those fake claim, there is a bar in section 71 कि पीजीबीपी में अगर लॉस आ गया तो वो सैलरी इनकम से आप एडजस्ट नहीं कर सकते. पीजीबीपी में आप खुद ही जनरेट कर लेते हो और अपनी सैलरी इनकम कम कर देते हो. सो सैलरी इनकम पे वट एवर वी हैव डिडक्टेड टीडीएस दैट इज फाइनल. ठीक है, दिस इज फर्स्ट एक्सेप्शन. आपको ये एक्सेप्शन याद होने चाहिए क्योंकि क्वेश्चन के अंदर ऐसा नहीं आएगा कि आपको जस्ट एक्सपेंडिचर ही इज आस्किंग एक्सपेंडिचर डिसअलाउंस और ही इज आस्किंग जस्ट द अदर कंपटीशन इन द other heads. He will also ask you the treatment of losses. So treatment of losses, how will you make the treatment of losses? If there is PGBP income of any PGBP loss of any SSC and there is salary income, you will not set off that in the same year because it is not allowable as per section 71. Second इसमें क्या बार है हमारे पास? Second bar is capital loss. Capital loss cannot be set off any other head. कैपिटल गेन तो किसी भी हेड में नहीं जाएगा. कैपिटल गेन तो किसी भी हेड में नहीं जाएगा. पीजीबीपी को तो अलाउ कर दिया था. इफ देयर इज पीजीबीपी लॉस it cannot go in salary only, otherwise it can be set off in capital gain, it can be set off again other sources income, but capital loss cannot be set off against an interhead. Cannot, or you can say that capital loss cannot be set off interhead. जो कैपिटल लॉस का है विद इन हेड आप करोगे, जो नहीं हुआ उसको अभी कैरी फॉरवर्ड के हम प्रोविजन पढ़ेंगे, कैरी फॉरवर्ड करोगे आप आगे वाले सालों में. And there is a recent amendment through which this third exception was inserted in section 71. It says that if you have loss under house property, suppose you have a loss of rupees 8 lakh in house property. So interhead you can claim only up to rupees 2 lakh. Interhead you can claim only up to rupees 2 lakh. The remaining 6 lakh you have to carry forward. You don't have any option. Earlier what happened, whatever loss you have in house property, you can adjust it with PGBP income, you can adjust it with capital gain income, you can adjust it with other sources income. But now restriction has been made and only 2 lakh can be, loss of rupees 2 lakh can be claimed in one year in 1 year against the other income, the rest you have to carry forward. And the general rule for carry forward is, जब आप एक बार carry forward करते हो तो carry forward करने के बाद वो अपने head से ही होता है. Carry forward वाले losses कभी भी inter head नहीं जाते हैं. तो inter head आपको same year में होता है, और same year में भी ये 3 exception है आपके सामने. अगर if you are making inter head adjustment, if you are making an inter head adjustment, then you have to take care 3 exception. PGBP can't go in salary, capital loss can't go in any other head, and house property loss cannot go. This is very important, house property loss, because this is the recent amendment. House property, it doesn't mean that it will that income tax act is not allowing you the loss of 6 lakh rupees remaining law. It will allow you, but it will not allow you interhead. In future, if you have house property income, then against that property income you can adjust this 6 lakh rupees. But interhead you can claim only up to rupees 2 lakh. Only rupees 2 lakh. So what is the logic behind this 2 lakh limit? Logic behind this 2 lakh limit, because against the self-occupied property, interest deduction is allowed only up to rupees 2 lakh. So government feels that when you have self-occupied property, we are giving only the benefit of rupees 2 lakh. However, when you have a rental property, we are giving you the benefit to claim the losses against the any other income up to whatever extent. So they also restricted this amount to rupees 2 lakh. 6 lakh you can claim if you have future income from house property. Otherwise, it will become debt. So hope same head and same source set off is clear. If there is any doubt.
सर वो कितने साल के लिए कर सकते हैं 6 लाख?
वो हम कर रहे हैं अभी आज अब कैरी फॉरवर्ड स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. अभी हमारा निपटा है कि विद इन असेसमेंट ईयर 2021 हम क्या कर सकते हैं, राइट?
हाउस प्रॉपर्टी दूसरे से सेट ऑफ कर सकते हैं.
योर वॉइस इज नॉट क्लियर. क्या कह रहे हैं? हाउस प्रॉपर्टी
இப்ப வராத ஒரு 1 ஹவர்ல எனக்கு முடிஞ்சிடும். இல்ல இப்ப வராத நான் இதுல நான் வரேன் அது வரேன்.
Any doubt is there?
Am I audible?
Yes, now audible.
सर हाउस प्रॉपर्टी दूसरे हेड से सेट ऑफ कर सकते हैं ना?
हाँ कर सकते हैं, ओनली अप टू रुपीज 2 lakh. Suppose in assessment year 2021, right, you have a house property loss of rupees 8 lakh. You have business income of rupees 10 lakh. Sorry, ये income है. You have capital gain of rupees 5 lakh. ये भी profit है. You have other sources income of rupees 2 lakh. This is also profit. Earlier, ये सारे का सारा 8 lakh, the entire 8 lakh is adjustable against any income. Still, it is adjustable against any income. However, now restriction is on the amount that you can adjust with against any income, but only up to rupees 2 lakh. Out of 8 lakh, only 2 lakh can be adjusted interhead in the same assessment year, and the 6 lakh you need to carry forward, and carry forward general time period is 8 years. So this is the provision which practically many person are not aware. अभी हाउस प्रॉपर्टी में सबको लगता है कि हमें पूरा लॉस रेंट का जो लॉस होता है वो मिल जाता है, लेकिन अब उस लॉसेस में ये रिस्ट्रिक्शंस है जो 71 आपको बोलता है, जिसमें 3 एक्सेप्शन हमें पड़ा कि पीजीबीपी सैलरी में नहीं जाएगा, कैपिटल गेन अदर नहीं जाएगा कहीं पे भी, और हाउस प्रॉपर्टी मेरा जाएगा अदर में किसी में भी जाएगा, बट 2 लाख से ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. 6 लाख को कैरी फॉरवर्ड करना पड़ेगा, एंड इन फ्यूचर आई हैव सम इनकम फ्रॉम हाउस प्रॉपर्टी, देन ओनली आई कैन एडजस्ट. होप इट इज क्लियर नाउ.
यस
ठीक. So I started by saying that if you have studied from section 70 to 80 of Income Tax Act, then you will be aware that how the losses is adjusted. So 70 was in the same assessment year under the same head. सेम हेड में रहेंगे लेकिन इंटर सोर्स आप कैसे करेंगे? दिस 70 टेल यू, 70 1 टेल यू विद इन द सेम असेसमेंट ईयर इंटर हेड हाउ विल यू एडजस्ट इंटर हेड. तो इसके हमने 3 एक्सेप्शन पढ़ लिए. पीजीबीपी सैलरी में नहीं जाएगा. हाउस प्रॉपर्टी कैन गो इन एनी अदर हेड बट अप टू 2 lakh. आफ्टर 2 lakh it has to carry forward. And capital loss cannot go in any other head. So this is the interhead exceptions. Except this, everything you can adjust from anywhere. इसके अलावा कुछ भी आपका है, पीजीबीपी का आपका लॉस आया, आप जितना मर्जी अपना सैलरी से एडजस्ट करना, हाउस प्रॉपर्टी से जितना मर्जी एडजस्ट करो उसको. पीजीबीपी का लॉस आया, कैपिटल गेन से जितना मर्जी एडजस्ट करो. पीजीबीपी का लॉस हो सकता है एडजस्ट, कैपिटल लॉस आ गया लेकिन तो वो किसी और हेड में नहीं आ सकता. तो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड हियर दैट पीजीबी इफ देयर इज पीजीबीपी लॉस तो वो सैलरी में नहीं जा सकता एंड कैन गो इन एनी अदर हेड. बट कैपिटल लॉस है तो वो तो किसी हेड में जा ही नहीं सकता, उसको तो इंटर सोर्स अगर हो रहा है. इंटर सोर्स भी हमने क्या एक्सेप्शन पढ़ा था, दैट लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल लॉस अगर हो गया इट कैन नॉट गो इन short term capital gain. So we have discussed now the four exceptions. Now next, this was happened in the same assessment year, in assessment year 2021. Now carry forward will be happen. Carry forward आप पहले कैरी फॉरवर्ड करेंगे, इसलिए इसका नाम है कैरी फॉरवर्ड एंड सेट ऑफ. आप पहले पीछे वाला लॉस कैरी फॉरवर्ड किया, देन उसको आगे वाले सालों में जाके अब सेट ऑफ कर रहे हो. यानी कि यहाँ जो बच गया था उस साल में इनकम ही नहीं थी आप पे 2021 में, आप क्या तो वो करते, तो अब आप इसको कैरी फॉरवर्ड करके ला रहे हो. तो जनरली कैरी फॉरवर्ड पीरियड इज 8 असेसमेंट ईयर्स. तो 2021 में 8 आप जोड़ देंगे तो 29 असेसमेंट ईयर तक यू कैन कैरी फॉरवर्ड योर एनी लॉसेस. एक तो जनरल पॉइंट ये हो गया कैरी फॉरवर्ड के लिए. दूसरा जनरल पॉइंट ये हो गया कि एक बार कैरी फॉरवर्ड हो गया तो वो तो इंटर हो ही नहीं सकता, वो तो सेम हेड में ही रहेगा. सेम हेड में अगर कुछ अवेलेबल है आपको तो एडजस्ट कर लेना, सेम हेड में अवेलेबल नहीं है तो देन यू कांट एडजस्ट. इंटर हेड तो कैरी फॉरवर्ड के लिए खत्म ही हो गया. इंटर हेड कैन बी पॉसिबल ओनली इन द सेम ईयर. इन द नेक्स्ट असेसमेंट ईयर इंटर हेड इज नॉट पॉसिबल. तो जब भी आपके ब्रॉड फॉरवर्ड लॉसेज आ रहे हैं तो आप जो मैं यहाँ पे लॉसेज जब एडजस्ट करने लगा था ऊपर, ये जो लॉसेज में एडजस्ट करने लगा था ब्रॉड फॉरवर्ड लॉसेज, ये ब्रॉड फॉरवर्ड लॉसेज जब आप लेकर आओगे पिछले, तो आप ध्यान रखोगे कि अगर वो हाउस प्रॉपर्टी का लॉस है तो आप हाउस प्रॉपर्टी से ही एडजस्ट करेंगे. अगर आप वो पीजीबीपी का लॉस लेके आ रहे हो तो आप पीजीबीपी से एडजस्ट करोगे. अगर आप कैपिटल गेन का लेकर आ रहे हो तो कैपिटल गेन अगेन आपका लॉन्ग टर्म हुआ तो वो तो शॉर्ट टर्म में जाएगा ही नहीं, वो तो रहेगा ही लॉन्ग टर्म में. और अदर सोर्सेज का ला रहे हो तो अदर सोर्सेज से एडजस्ट करोगे. कैरी फॉरवर्ड लॉसेज का इंटर हेड पॉसिबल नहीं है. इंटर हेड पॉसिबल इन द सेम असेसमेंट ईयर and carry forward is possible up to 8 assessment year. 8 assessment year के भी 2 एक्सेप्शन है आपके. स्पेकुलेशन लॉस बिजनेस कर रहे हो, अगर आप कोई स्पेकुलेशन बिजनेस कर रहे हो, देन स्पेकुलेशन बिजनेस अगर आप कर रहे हो देन 4 years. और अगर आप हॉर्स रेस पे कोई आपको लॉस हुआ है देन ओनली 4 years. तो आपको करना क्या है कि पहले हम क्या होता था कि इंटर में हम एक टेबल के थ्रू याद करते थे, लेकिन अब आप इसको सेक्शन के थ्रू याद रखो. सेक्शन के थ्रू आप कैसे याद रखो कि सेक्शन 70 इज माय सेट ऑफ हैव ओनली 1 एक्सेप्शन कि एलटीसीजी एसटीसीजी में नहीं जाएगा. 71 मेरा इंटरहेड सेम ईयर में है। इंटरहेड हैज 3 एक्सेप्शन, पीजीबीपी सैलरी मिल जाएगा, हाउस प्रॉपर्टी 2 लाख तक जाएगा अदर में, एंड कैपिटल लॉस तो किसी हेड में जाएगा ही नहीं। देन अब कैरी फॉरवर्ड पे आ गए। कैरी फॉरवर्ड 4 इयर्स के 2 एक्सेप्शन है। 4 ईयर के 2 क्या हो गया, स्पेकुलेशन लॉस को 4 साल तक कर सकते हो, हॉर्स रेस वाले लॉस को 4 साल तक कर सकते हो, इसके अलावा कोई भी लॉस होगा 8 साल तक आप कैरी फॉरवर्ड करो। एंड कैरी फॉरवर्ड लॉस कैन बी सेट ऑफ अगेंस्ट सेम हेड ओनली। तो अब इस कैरी फॉरवर्ड के अलग अलग सेक्शन है, लेकिन मैंने क्रक्स आपको ऊपर लिखवा दिया है। क्या 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 सेक्शन कवर कर देगा ये हमारा? 71B कवर कर देगा। 71B किसके लिए कवर हो जाएगा? हाउस प्रॉपर्टी का अगर आप लॉस आगे लेकर आए, सिंपल वो ये बात बोलेगा कि 8 ईयर्स तक लेकर आ सकते हो बात। सब सेक्शन यही बोलेंगे, लेकिन 72 सेक्शन मेरा बिजनेस इनकम के लिए होगा, बिजनेस लॉसेस के लिए होगा, बिजनेस लॉसेस, लेकिन कौन से? जो नॉन स्पेकुलेटिव हो, नॉन स्पेकुलेटिव। देन 73 मेरा होगा स्पेकुलेटिव बिजनेस के लिए। ये सब कैरी फॉरवर्ड हो रहे हैं, लेकिन अलग अलग सेक्शन में हो रहे हैं। देन 74 में कैरी फॉरवर्ड होगा मेरा कैपिटल गेन का, कैपिटल गेन का। 74A में होगा मेरा, 74A में होगा, 74A में होगा हॉर्स रेसेस का, हॉर्स रेसेस का। इन सारे सेक्शनों का क्रक्स ये है कि 8 साल से ऊपर नहीं कर सकते, 2 लॉसेस को आप 4 साल तक करोगे और सेम हेड में ही करोगे, ये आपके सारे लॉसेस सेक्शन यहाँ पे कवर हो जाते हैं। देन हम थोड़ा सा आगे चलते हैं, तो 75 एंड 78 व्हेन आई एक्सप्लेन यू फॉर्म असेसमेंट, तो हम पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म के असेसमेंट में इनको स्टडी करेंगे। इसके बीच के जो सेक्शन रह गए 60, 76, 77 वो डिलीटेड है, कोई सेक्शन नहीं है। तो आप इस तरह से एक सीरीज याद रखोगे तो आपके लिए इजी रहेगा हर टाइम समझने के लिए कि ये एग्जैक्टली सेक्शन, क्योंकि मैं इससे आपको वो भी लिंक करूंगा कि लॉसेस का हमने पढ़ा था, वी स्टडीड इन सेक्शन 139(3) दैट लॉसेस रिटर्न इज कंपलसरी टू फाइल इन टाइम। उस सेक्शन के अंदर आप देखोगे, उस सेक्शन के अंदर आप देखोगे जो मेरा ये 71B है, 71B है, उस सेक्शन के अंदर ये नहीं मेंशन है। इट मींस अगर मैं लॉसेस की रिटर्न लेट भी फाइल कर रहा हूं, देन आई कैन कैरी फॉरवर्ड माय हाउस प्रॉपर्टी लॉसेस, बट 72 is mentioned there, 73 is mentioned there, 74 mentioned there, 74A mentioned there. So it means if you have business loss from normal business or speculative business, or you have capital loss, or you have horse race loss, then you can claim only when you file your return in time. So अगर आपको सेक्शन से याद रहेंगे तो आप उस सेक्शन की स्टडी आप आराम से कर सकते हैं। 78। अब ये सब हमने पढ़ा था एक आपको आइडिया देने के लिए कि बिकॉज यू आर स्टडिंग टुडे द कंपनी असेसमेंट, कंपनी असेसमेंट पे ये नॉर्मल प्रोविजन तो लगते ही हैं जो मैंने आपको पढ़ा दिए, बट देयर इज सम स्पेशल प्रोविजन अंडर सेक्शन 79 on which specifically applicable only on losses of carry forward losses of company, only on carry forward of company losses. 79 is applicable only on carry forward of company losses. We will study soon this, and the last one is 80 is for loss return. So when you study 139(3), you always study this section along with 139(3). Along with section 80. Section 80 says that if you have 4 type of losses, which I explained you above, you have to file your return in time. So what are the bar to claim the losses? First of all, bar given in 70, that's same head, इंटर सोर्स एलटीसीजी एसटीसीजी में जाएगा। इंटर हेड भी अगर आपने जाना है तो 3 एक्सेप्शन का ध्यान रखोगे। देन फिर कैरी फॉरवर्ड करना है तो आप ये ध्यान रखोगे कि इनका 4 साल के लिए कैरी फॉरवर्ड मिलेगा और सेम हेड में मिलेगा कैरी फॉरवर्ड। और देन एक बार और आपके ऊपर लग गया कि अगर सेक्शन 80 के अकॉर्डिंग 139(3) की टाइम लिमिट के अकॉर्डिंग अगर आपने इन सेक्शनों की रिटर्न टाइम पे नहीं फाइल करी, देन ऑल्सो लॉसेज आर नॉट अलाउड। तो आपको देखना है कि आप ऐसा ना हो कि कंपनी को लॉसेज देते जा रहे हो या एसएससी को लॉसेज देते जा रहे हो, एंड लीगली दो लॉसेज आर नॉट अलाउड टू यू। एंड एग्जामिनर कैन ऑलवेज आस्क योर understanding about the losses. So now the last section, which we need to understand in depth, that is 79 companies losses. This is very old sections, but due to startup companies, there is a good amendment to give the benefit to startup company. So let's study what this 79 exactly says. अभी तक किसी का डाउट तो नहीं है यहाँ तक?
Clear.
So आज मैं आपको I'm just giving you idea to compute the income of a SSC, and in the next class we will give advanced level questions and we will study some advanced level provisions which the examiner can ask for making adjustment in your PGBP income or under any other head income. So I'll just give you the summary that अगर इस तरह से ग्रेचुटी आपके सामने आ गई तो ग्रेचुटी इनकम टैक्स ये कहता है ये एडजस्टमेंट कर देना. अगर आपके पास लीव एनकेशमेंट आ गया तो ऐसे कर देना. तो कुछ एडजस्टमेंट यू हैव ऑलरेडी स्टडीड बट कुछ रह गए हैं. अगर जो वो आप नहीं पढ़ो तो आई ट्राई कि एग्जाम में अब तक जो एडजस्टमेंट पूछी हुई है आई मेक समरी ऑफ दैट, और आपको उसको पता होना चाहिए कि आपको क्रैम होनी चाहिए वो कि जैसे ही वहां पे एग्जाम में आपको दिखा P&L अकाउंट में कुछ गड़बड़ दिखी आपको या आपको इफ यू फाइंड एनी एडजस्टमेंट बिलो P&L अकाउंट यू क्विकली मेड दैट एडजस्टमेंट एज पर द प्रोविजन ऑफ इनकम टैक्स.
सर
So
इसका
this is
नोट
the- हाँ सॉरी
नोट्स मिल जाएगा ना सर?
हाँ आई ट्राई माई बेस्ट जो भी होगा, लेकिन मेरी रिक्वेस्ट ये है कि आप लोग भी अपना, मैं तो नोट्स देता ही हूँ लेकिन आप भी उसको शॉर्ट यू ट्राई टू मेक मोर शॉर्टर, और एटलीस्ट आप जो आपका मॉक टेस्ट पेपर है और जो 4 एग्जाम आपके लास्ट के हैं वो आप लोग जरूर प्रैक्टिस करो, तभी आपका इसमें एग्जाम में आप फेस कर पाओगे क्वेश्चन. तो एटलीस्ट 3 रिवीजन आर रिक्वायर्ड फॉर, आप मॉक टेस्ट पेपर की प्रैक्टिस करो और आप 4 क्वेश्चन की प्रैक्टिस करो और शॉर्ट नोट आप पे बने हो तो आप बहुत अच्छे मार्क्स आपके आ सकते हैं इसमें.
ठीक.
I'll try my best. I'll give you as maximum as possible, but still you make it as per your comfort. So
Hello,
this
sir.
is yes.
Sir, please, technicals, if you could explain in English also, it will be better because we are writing in English and a little bit Hindi is okay, but if you are explaining fully in Hindi and finally
Okay.
telling a summary in English, it's very difficult for us to follow.
Okay, sure. I'll
Else you
again,
give a, what
I'll
you
again try.
teach in class, you give a summary, I mean, whatever notes, then we can study and then listen to you. Otherwise, it's really, I did not follow what you told from section 70 to 80, that part. I mean, not fully I did, I could not understand. So please give a notes and probably you would explain a bit like 50-50 is okay. I can understand a bit, but not fully Hindi. Thank you.
Okay, so still you have doubt in 70 from section 70 to 80.
Because I did not understand fully thoroughly because
Okay,
you
so
explained fully in Hindi.
I'll again
I'm
brief
sorry.
you.
I'm sorry.
I'll again brief you from 70 to 80, and I'll now
No
I'll
problem. If the class is, I mean, affected, you can send notes and I'll
actually
just read up and
as such, there is no note on 70 to 80 because 70
no,
80
because that points actually points like because you told that 73 for speculation and that points, brief points, or it's better you send because class is
notes,
affected. I don't
I think
want to
notes, but-
make the class suffer, so you just send the thing. But next time, please explain both in English and Hindi. A
Right,
bit
right.
Hindi is okay, but not fully Hindi.
right. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Actually,
So
sir, other tutors, what they are doing, they are sharing the notes first. So we will be connecting where you are and how you are doing, so that it will be better to share the notes first. Then the class.
actually you need to understand that 70 to 80 is not directly applicable on you. This is the intermediate course. I'm just summarizing you so that in final you can you can do the questions or you can face the question yourself. And that's why for everything I don't have the notes. So better will be that parallelly you can make the notes if the notes is not available. And so far it is English is concerned, I'll try my best now onwards to speak in English as well as in Hindi parallelly, right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So 79 is basically applicable on companies. 79 is applicable basically on companies. What 79 says? 79 says that company can carry forward its losses only when company can carry forward its losses only when the shareholder who has 51% voting power in the previous year in which loss was incurred are same in the previous year in which you want to set off these losses. Suppose there was loss happen in business in the assessment year 2021. In the assessment year 2021, there was a loss of rupees 1 crore rupees, and there was two shareholder. One is A having 50% voting power, B having again 50% voting power, and now they want to set off these losses in the assessment year 23-24. In the assessment year 23-24, because I just told you that up to 8 assessment year you can set off the losses. So after 2-3 assessment year, company came into the profit, and in the assessment year 22-23, this company wants to set off the losses of assessment year 2021. Now the act says that company has to check whether A, B is still continuing with the company. If they are continuing with the company with at least 51% voting power, then you can adjust the losses of assessment year 2021, because at that time AB was the shareholder. If AB if a share in the 22-23 the shareholding goes below the 51% what was originally held in the assessment year 2021, then carry forward of losses under the company's set off of losses under the company act under the company assessment will not be possible. So I'll explain you through the example. Like what 79 says. 79 says a company is carrying on a business, and company has in assessment year 2021 company has losses of rupees 1 crore, then again in 21-22 the company was in losses, and losses was of rupees 2.5 crore. Again in 22-23 company came into the profit, and profit was of rupees 5 crore. So in 22-23 what company will do? Company will adjust this 1 crore loss and this 2.5 crore loss, 1 crore loss and 2.5 crore loss and 2.5 crore loss and 2.5 crore loss against the income of assessment year 2022. It means previous year losses. Company will try to adjust in assessment year 2023, and we just studied that up to 8 assessment year it can be do so. Up to 8 assessment year the company can carry forward and then set off the losses of previous year. However, one more condition which is applicable as per section 79. Section 79 says if in assessment year A and B was shareholder having 50% shareholding, again in the assessment year 21-22 AB has the shareholding 75% and 25%, but in this assessment year new shareholder came C and D, and A and B is not there, or if there if A and B is there, they have the voting power below 50%. Below 50%. So the act says in which year you want to adjust the previous year losses. In that year, the shareholder of at least 50% voting will remain same. If 50% voting will not remain same, company cannot adjust its previous year losses. It will become dead. तो पिछले साल के लॉसेस को अगर कंपनी को एडजस्ट करना है तो उसको ये प्रूव करना पड़ेगा कि उसकी वोटिंग पावर 50% सेम रहे जिस साल में वो एडजस्ट करने लगी है लॉसेस को. होप इट इज क्लियर नाउ टू एवरीवन.
जी सर, यस सर.
However, for a startup, the problem is that a startup company has only have an idea. So startup company works on the idea, like Paytm works on the idea, and then when the net worth, when the value of the share of the business will increase in the market, startup promoter always try to sell the shares because they are having good price of their share. Started with 100 rupees shares, but now due to their idea in the company, now it's had value of rupees billion. So what the shareholder do? Suppose Mr. A and Mr. B start the Paytm, and Paytm grow drastically in few years, and now A and B want to exit from the company or want to sell the idea, so they will sell the maximum share of the company, like up to 74%. A and B will sell the. So what startup was facing problem? Startup was saying that, sir, we are not in the company to just remain with the company for whole life. We are just we have a idea and we develop this idea and we will sell our share and want to exit. So for startup company only, for eligible startup company only, whatever companies fall in the eligible startup, those company this section 79 will not be applicable. So if in the question में अगर आपको वो बोलता है कि ये eligible startup है, तो eligible startup में वो आप 50% वाली कंडीशन देखेंगे ही नहीं. जस्ट आपको ये देखना है कि A and B 50%, you don't need to say with 50% voting power they will remain in the company. They only comply. They need to only comply that they will remain in the company, and the shareholding may be of any percentage. They may remain in the company with 1% holding. So for startup companies, what they need to prove to set off the previous year losses, they need to prove that all the shareholder which was there at the time of losses are remain in the company, whether the shareholding goes below the 50%. तो आपको जस्ट ये करना है कि सारे के सारे शेयर होल्डर जो जितने भी थे वो कंपनी के अंदर हैं, यहाँ पे आज भी हैं, गए नहीं है. बस वो है कि उनको शेयर का वैल्यू अच्छा मिल रहा था, तो that's why they sold their share and got the good value, but they all remain in the company. So what a startup company need to prove? A startup company need to prove only that they all are with the company and voting power doesn't matter. And voting power doesn't matter. So now I'm just giving the reading 279 again. In case of a company in which public are not substantially interested, and this is applicable on the private limited companies in which public are not substantially involved. So if you are the private limited company, then other than eligible startup, for eligible startup we have another provision. we will study later on. No loss shall be carry forward. कोई loss carry forward नहीं करने देंगे and set off नहीं करने देंगे. It means carry forward and set off. Carry forward किया और उस साल में set off करने लगे हो आप 22-23 में against the income of the previous year unless at least 50% of the voting power of the company are beneficially held on the last day of the previous year in which the loss is sought to be set off by the same person who held at least 50% of the shares on the last day of the financial year in which the loss was incurred. So in which year the loss was incurred and in which the company want to set off, the shareholder of at least 51% voting power should remain same. Then only the company can set off the earlier year losses, and otherwise earlier year losses will become dead. Then we study now for startup company. For startup company, what is the provision? And this is also recently amended. For a startup company, in the case of eligible startup company, not being a, you need not need to see that which is eligible startup, which is not. The question itself give you the eligible startup, that is this company is eligible startup or not, because this is given by the some another ministry. The startup certificate is given by the another ministry. So Income Tax Act itself give you that whether this company is startup or not. So if the examiner is saying you that the particular company is eligible startup, then how Section 17 will apply? Not being a company in which the public are substantially interested. Again, startup should be of private limited closely held company. It should not be listed or public company. The loss incurred in any prior to the previous year shall be carried forward and set off against the income of the previous year if all the shareholder, it means A and B of such company who had shares carrying voting power on the last day of the year or year in which the loss was incurred, continue to hold those shares on the last day of the such previous year. It means this previous year में आप set off करने लगे हो, in which year you want to set off the earlier year losses. The all shareholders should be there, irrespective of their shareholding. A के पास कितने शेयर है, B के पास शेयर है, it doesn't matter 51% है या नहीं है, तब भी आपको मिल जाएंगे, बस सारे शेयर होल्डर वहां पे होने चाहिए. Such loss has been incurred during the period of 7 years beginning from the year in which such company is incorporated. तो जिस साल में incorporation हुआ है, in which the startup is incorporated, up to 7 years it can do so by not even by transferring the shares. But what one condition is there, that all shareholders should remain with the company irrespective of shareholding. Hope it is clear to all now.
हेलो सर,
Yes.
वोटिंग पावर चेंज हो सकता है और फिर भी कंटिन्यू वही शेयर होल्डर्स रहेंगे ऑन द लास्ट डे, तो
Right.
चलेगा?
Right. But condition for startup is only that voting power can goes up to 1%, but shareholders should remain with the company. All the person should be there, irrespective, because startup. Yes. Yes.
closely held companies का मतलब प्राइवेट कंपनीज
कर लीजिए अपना.
हाँ देखो, वैसे इसका मीनिंग आप फर्स्ट पेज पे जाके पढ़ लीजिएगा. मैंने जो आपको कंपनी का मीनिंग कराया था तो आपको मिल जाएगा. जनरली उसका मीनिंग ये होता है प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी, बस उसका. लेकिन हम उसको रिवर्स केस में पढ़ रहे हैं, लेकिन जो इसकी लिमिट, जो इसकी डेफिनेशन है, डेफिनेशन इज गिवन the company in which public is substantially interested. तो substantially interested की definition is given in the act. वो आपको पहले पेज में मिल जाएगी, वो आप पढ़ लेना. उसमें लिखा है कि listed company, government के शेयर, ये सब, these all companies are company in which public are substantially interested. So उसका रिवर्स जो हो जाएगा वो मेरा प्राइवेट, उसका मीनिंग यही निकलता है कि only the closely held company, only the private limited company as closely held company. Because this provision was to stop the trading of loss company. ऐसा ना हो कि लोग लॉस कंपनी बना रहे हैं, उसको बेच रहे हैं. To stop those companies, this provision was inserted originally. But now startup was facing the problem because startup wants to sell shares because they are having good value. They are not exiting from the company, but they want to sell their maximum stake. so that they can have good value, like Paytm, Amazon, whatever the original promoter, they want to have good amount of money through by selling the shares. But ये section आपको restrict करता था, so that's why they are saying that you just remain with the company irrespective what shareholding you have, right?
Sir.
And again, these are the genuine problems. These 4 or 5 genuine problems, that if some shareholder has died, then how he will remain with the company. So this 79 will not become applicable in the case of death. This will not applicable in the case when you gift the shares. When some husband is giving gift shares to wife, then this section will not be applicable. In the case of amalgamation, this will not be applicable, because in all these cases, capital gain will be happen when the ultimately share will be sold by the ultimate shareholder. So at this time they are not making any disturbance. So in this case, in these 3-4 exception, 79 will not be applicable. So if there is a transfer of share due to gift, due to death, due to amalgamation of foreign company, involve insolvency and bankruptcy code. There is a code, insolvency and bankruptcy code, recently introduced in India, in which some resolution plan is given to the insolvent company. So if in that resolution plan some old shareholder is transferring shares to new shareholder, then 79 will not be applicable. And there is again NCLT provision on distressed company. So if there are some distressed company on which NCLT is giving some relief through some scheme, then on that companies also. So basically what 79 is, you will remain with the 51%. However, for startup, it will not applicable. And for these 5 conditions, the 79 will not be applicable. So this is very crucial section for closely held company. And generally the examiner asks question from this section.
So
So
I have
anybody?
a doubt.
Yeah, yes.
So वो 7 year from beginning मतलब अभी last 7 years
इनकॉर्पोरेशन से जिस दिन से पहला इनकॉर्पोरेशन होगा, पहले 7 साल के लॉसेस को हम ऐसे कर देंगे आपको। 7 साल के अंदर आप शेयर बेच के निकल जाते हैं तो ठीक है, अदरवाइज उसके बाद नहीं चलेगा ये प्रोविजन। उसके बाद ओरिजिनल में ही आ जाओगे आप, और आप ये समझोगे कि ये स्टार्टअप वाला प्रोविजन था ही नहीं। राइट? There are some question also given. You can try yourself. Illustration 2, 3. So you can try yourself these 2 illustration. If you have any problem, we will discuss in the next class. So can I take next concept now, or there is any doubt?
No, sir. Clear.
Okay. I also try my best to give you the notes to the extent possible. But I think the from 71 to 80 it would not be possible, because I don't have such notes. But for MAT provision and other PGBP provision, I'll definitely give you the notes. So today we are just understanding the overall computation of the company. So till now, what have we studied? We have studied that there will be some computation of income, in which house property had, PGBP had, other sources had, capital gain had, income of these 4 had will be added. And if there is any losses of previous year, then adjustment will be made for that losses subject to 70 to 79, or we can say 70 to 80. Then GTI, then deduction, then the final income will come, which is called as total income under the Income Tax Act, total income. On this total income, you will apply the corporate rate of 25.17% as per section, general section 115 115 BAA. Parallelly, there is one more computation is applicable on the company. One more computation is applicable on the company. ये जो left hand side में computation है, the computation at the left hand side is called as the computation under the normal provision. Under the normal provisions. Parallelly, company has to prove that under the provision of MAT, what is the tax amount of the company? It means company has to compare. I'm taking 26% this because on 115 BA MAT is not applicable. I'm taking 26% rate as per Finance Act. So 26%. This tax company has to compare with its tax of as per the MAT provisions. So two computation is applicable on the company, one as per the normal provision, and parallelly company has to compute under the provision of MAT, and then it will compare the both taxes, and whatever tax will be higher, company has to pay taxes in those provisions. So what is MAT exactly? MAT is that if you are company SSE, then we are expecting at least minimum alternate tax. We have made some alternate method for computing tax. In this normal provision, we are making adjustment of everything. As per Income Tax Act. Here we will not make any adjustment in your profit and loss account. Here we will not make adjustment as per the Income Tax Act, because government experience that company has good amount of profit in its P&L account. Government has good amount of profit in its P&L account, like 100 crore. But there are so many deductions in the Income Tax Act, like 80IA deduction. This 100 crore profit is eligible as deduction of 100 rupees under section 80IA. So what government was feeling, that company has good amount of profit, company is distributing 100 crore dividend, but government is not having any tax because there is so much deduction under section 80IA or other provisions, or there are so many provisions under section 35. There are so many other deduction with the help of which company is able to reduce its taxes drastically or to up to nil amount. So क्या हो रहा था कि प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस में तो डिविडेंड देने के लिए बहुत पैसा है, लेकिन जब टैक्स देने की बात आती है तो कंपनी कहती है कि यहाँ पे मेरा देखो प्रॉफिट, ये देखो मैंने निकाला ना, स्टार बनाया, ये जीरो हो गया है, डिडक्शन ले ली मैंने सारी, तो मैं आपको क्या टैक्स दूं? पहले ये तो आता कुछ, इसके ऊपर रेट लगाना था. सो इफ इट बिकम जीरो, then the government is saying that at least 15% of your P&L profit, 15% of P&L profit, you will give us tax. So if this normal provision is lesser than the 15% tax of the P&L income, then this book profit, this MAT book profit, actually it is called as a book profit. This book profit will become the total income of the company, and company has to pay tax as per the MAT provision and not as per the normal provision. Hope everyone gets the brief idea of the MAT provision and normal provision. Right. So this provision is applicable only on the companies. Only on the companies. Companies have two set of computation. Both set are given in the Income Tax Act, but in different sections. Normal provisions, as I discussed, are given from section 28 to 44 for PGBP adjustment. For deduction, etc., it is given in the 80IA, etc. However, MAT provisions are given only in one section, which is called 115 JB. 115 JB. So what 115 JB says, 115 JB says that I will take profit from the P&L account, and that profit will be book profit for me, and that profit will be book profit for calculating tax. And I'm not applying higher amount of tax. At least 15% I'm expecting. If you are earning 100 crore, at least 15% of 100 crore I am expecting. And if you are distributing 100 crore to shareholder, at least give me 50% of that share. So if your normal provision tax is lesser than the 115 JB tax, then book profit become your total income. The language is like this: book profit will become your total income. तो जो total income आपने ऊपर ऐसे कर निकाला था इतना कुछ करने के बाद, ये सारा काम करने के बाद जो total income निकाला था, after doing so many adjustment which you calculated, this total income will be now your book profit. अब आपका बुक प्रॉफिट आपकी ये टोटल इनकम बनेगा. आप ये वाली टोटल इनकम नहीं लोगे, बिकॉज इस पे जब आपने टैक्स निकाला, दैट इज फार लेसर देन 15% ऑफ माय बुक प्रॉफिट. तो कंपनी इज सेइंग दैट अब मेरे को आप 15% के हिसाब से दे दो, और अब आप वो प्रोविजन छोड़ो. अब लेकिन एग्जामिनर विल आस्क यू बोथ प्रोविजन. आपको दे देगा क्वेश्चन, you have to calculate first the tax as per normal provision, then you have to calculate tax as per the MAT provisions under section 115 JB. Then you will compare. Then 15% or 115 JB tax is higher than my normal provision, or normal provision tax is higher than the. If normal provision tax is higher than then the everything will be normally applied. If it is not higher than my 115%, if it is not higher than my 15%, then I have to take this book profit as my total income, and I will apply 15% tax, and I'll give 15% tax on that. Hope principally
Differentiate
clear to everyone.
normal provision apply होगा
10% किस अमाउंट का टोटल इनकम, मतलब कौन सा अमाउंट
जो P&L में निकला
है?
जो P&L में आया था, यहाँ पे जो आया था ना P&L में, लाइक मैं एक मिनट, I'll take another example.
Sir, section 10 deduction.
ये आपको एक P&L दे दिया. Examiner will give you P&L account. You have 200 crore rupees sale. You have expenses of 100 crore rupees. You have net profit of 100 crore rupees. In the Income Tax Act and in the MAT, you will make separate calculation. Income tax, how you will make calculation? First you calculate GTI, then you will give deduction. This will be your total income, and this will start from this calculation will start from this profit 100 crore, and you will make adjustment. You will take a deduction. Suppose there is a deduction of 100 crore rupees, due to which the tax become nil. However, in MAT, you directly apply a 15% rate on 100 rupees at the rate of 15%. At 115 JB, there are few adjustments, but they are not adjustment as given in the normal provision. They are separate adjustment. So just to clarity, you understand that we just take the 100 rupees profit. We will apply the 15% rate, 15 rupees. 15 rupees. Because 15 rupees tax under MAT, 15 rupees tax under MAT is higher than my normal provision tax, So this 100 rupees will become my total income. 100 crore will become my total income. On this, I will calculate my tax 15%. This is the provision. If this will apply only when your normal provision tax is lesser than 15%. Earlier, this rate was 18.5%. Hope clear now? Clear? Anji? Yes.
Sir, clear.
Okay. So in the next class, we will study that. Sorry.
Say, sir.
I was saying that in the next class, within section 115 JB, there are some adjustments. You have to add something, you have to less something. But this add and less is altogether different from the add or less of normal provision. So we will study in the next class that what this add or less. And we have to remember that the rate given in 115 BAA and 115 BAB, if you choose those rate, it means 22% and 15% those reduced rate, which was announced by the ordinance 2019. If you want to choose these rates, one of the condition of these rates that MAT will not be applicable. So nowadays the MAT importance will reduce drastically because everyone will go with the 115 BAA, and once you go with the 115 BAA, MAT provision will not be applicable on you. So in exam also, the examiner can ask you to apply the rate, and if you are choosing the rate as per section 115 BAA, then you write in the note that because we have selected the rate given in the section 115B newly introduced section as per ordinance 2019, therefore we are not calculating book profit per the provision of section 115 JB, because 115 JB is not applicable where the company is taking the benefit of reduced rate of 150 BAA and 150 BAB. So this is all, and with this I conclude my session. And if you have still any query, we can have this in 2 to 3 minutes.
No, sir, clear.
So in the next class, we will study that there are few adjustments. We have to make some add in the book profit. We have to make some less in the book profit, and that add and less is given in 115 JB itself. So there is no other section for book profit. Only book to calculate book profit. Only 115 JB is there. However, to calculate normal provision, we have to know we have knowledge of the entire income tax act. So for 115 JB, whatever 115 JB will say, we will make only that adjustment in the MAT profit. However, for normal adjustment, we will make for normal provision income, we will make all adjustment, whatever the act will suggest to us. So with this, thank you very much. And नेक्स्ट क्लास में फिर इसको स्टार्ट करते हैं 115 JB को.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
हाँ, जो भी नोट्स होगा PGBP का, I'll share that next class.
Shall we study 115 BAA and BAB also?
BAA.
BAA and BAB.
We have already studied in the previous classes. I have also shared the notes on that section.
Right.
Still take the detail, because these whatever is going on nowadays, that PGBP, 115 JB, 115 BAA, these are very important things. So I'll just brief you in the next class also, because this is the assessment chapter, and the chapter of PGBP itself contain 35 to 40 marks weightage in the exam. So these two chapters are very important. So still you feel there is any doubt, you can ask anytime. My request is start doing mock test paper, start doing last 4 examination paper. So because every concept cannot be discussed here in the short duration of 11 days. So if you go through itself, if you face any problem, you can ask on WhatsApp, or you can ask in the class itself, right?
Sir, thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.